Welcome to all to the electrical lectures in utilization of electrical energy. The first unit, illumination. We are going to see the gas discharge lamps. In the previous lecture, we saw about the sources of light, and then we discussed about the incandescent lamps. In that we saw the halogen lamp also, and then we saw the advantages and disadvantages also. In this lecture, we will see the gaseous discharge lamps like sodium vapor lamp, high pressure mercury vapor lamp, low pressure mercury vapor lamp, that is fluorescent lamp. These three lamps we are going to see how it is working, what are the important principle behind that, what are the advantage, disadvantage, and application and character. So many things we are going to see in this lecture regarding this content. First we will see what is the gaseous discharge lamps. Actually, the discharge lamps, it is developed to overcome the drawback of incandescent lamp. In incandescent lamp, few drawbacks was there. In incandescent lamp, it will we can't create different colors. Like that, the different disadvantages there. For overcome that drawback, we use the going to study the gaseous discharge lamp, but we are using the incandescent lamp also sometime in some areas, and then we are using the discharge lamps also. In all discharge lamps, an electric current is made to pass through a gas or vapor which produce its illuminance. This is the main important principle. What will happen? The electric current is made to pass through the gas or vapor. Then it will produce the illuminance. Normally, high pressure and atmospheric conditions, the gases is the poor conductors of the electricity. But an application of a sufficient voltage in between the two electrodes, if we give the enough voltage, it may give the electromagnetic radiation. So we need to give the sufficient voltage. For that, this gas is discharge. We are using the these are the elements, neon, sodium, mercury. These are the gases we are using. That wavelength of electromagnetic radiation, it depends upon the nature of the gas and the pressure, gaseous pressure of the inside lamp. So in this slide we have the diagram. It explains, it shows the simple diagram of gaseous discharge lamps. The gaseous medium will be there, two electrode will be there, and then we will give the supply. So the current will pass through that gas, so it will give the illuminance. So this is the um, the basic principle explanation. The production of the light in the gaseous discharge lamps is based on the phenomenon of excitation and ionization of gas or metal vapor present in the two electrodes of the discharge tube. So the ionization is an important process. If the metal vapor or gas in the discharge tube, if it is ionized, then the light will be produced. When the potential between the two electrodes is equal to the ionizing potential, gas or metal vapor will start ionizing, and then the arc established between the two electrode. That VI characteristics of the arc is negative, so that gaseous discharge lamp, it is having the negative resistance characteristics, which means the resistance will decrease. So we need to, if resistance is reduced, what will happen? The current will increase. So here we can use the choke for two purpose, choke or ballast, for the limit high current, to limit high current to a safe value, and then after that it is providing the high ignition voltage also. If there is no high ignition voltage, the ionization process, it won't be started. So we are using the choke for this two purpose. But on the other hand, the choke usage, the use of choke will reduce the power factor. The power factor will be 0.3 to 0.4. So what we have to do, we need to improve the power factor. That's why we provide the condenser. Okay, the nature of the gas and vapor used in the lamp will affect the color affected of light. So the material will depends the color of the light. Generally there is a two kind of discharge lamps. One is, it will directly emit the light when the current flow through it. The lamps that emit light of the color produced by discharge takes place through the gas or vapor present in the discharge tube. For example, neon gas, sodium vapor, mercury vapor, this and all. If the discharge takes place, it will emit the light. There are the example, neon gas, sodium vapor lamp and mercury vapor lamp. But another type is the lamp that emits the light of color depends upon the type of phosphor material coated inside the walls. So depends upon the coating of the walls of the lamp, the color will be color of the light will be glow. The discharge takes place through the vapor produces UV radiation, which means the gas or the vapor, the discharge, when it happens, it will not produce a direct light, it will produce a ultraviolet radiation. That ultraviolet radiation will be absorbed by that coating, phosphorus coating, and then that coating will radiate the light energy in the visible region. The UV causes fluorescence in certain phosphor materials, such as lamps known as fluorescent lamp. So that is the fluorescent lamp. That is the example. So here two kind of discharge lamp we are using. In sodium vapor lamp, mercury vapor lamp, we no need of any coating. Directly we will get the visible region light. But in mercury vapor lamp, fluorescent lamp, that UV light, that's the cause of fluorescence, and then it will be absorbed by the phosphor, and then it will radiate the visible region energy. This cases discharge lamps are having few drawbacks. The starting of the discharge lamp requires starters and transformers. They are telling no choke. So that lamp circuit is complex. The circuit will become complex, and then high initial cost. This cost is high comparatively the incandescent lamp, and then poor power factor. So that we need to use the capacitor, and then time required to give its full output brilliance is more. For getting the full output, we need some time, and then these lamps must be placed in the particular position, and then these lamps require stabilizing choke to limit the current, and then this lamps having the negative resistance characteristics. These are the drawback. Now we will see the sodium vapor lamp. The diagram is given the construction of sodium vapor lamp. Sodium vapor lamp is a cold cathode and a low pressure lamp. Sodium vapor lamp consists of U-shaped tube enclosed in a double-walled vacuum flask. Here two tube is there. One is here, one U tube, discharge U tube, and another one is double-walled vacuum tube. The inner U tube having the two oxide coated electrodes. This inner tube is sealed, and then it's having two oxide coated electrodes, and then this electrode is connected to the pin type base. Here sodium vapor is will be here. Sodium vapor is low luminosity lamp, which means the lumens will be less, so that the length of the lamp should be more. In order to get desired length, it is made in the form of U-shaped tube. Okay, the long U tube consists of small amount of neon gas. This tube having the neon gas and then metallic sodium. So what will happen? First, this neon gas will be vaporized first, and then it will develop a heat to vaporize the metallic sodium. Okay, this is the supply, and then through choke we will connect, and then this is a leakage transformer, and then it is connected to the base. So here we can see the working. Initially the sodium is in the form of solid. It is deposited on the walls of the inner tube. When sufficient voltage is impressed across the electrodes, the discharge starts in the inert gas, which means when the sufficient voltage is given, the discharge will be start in the neon gas. Okay, so that will operate like low pressure neon lamp. That temperature of the lamp increases gradually. Slowly the temperature will increase, and the metallic sodium will vaporizes then ionizes, thereby producing monochromatic yellow light. Sodium vapor lamp, it will produce the monochromatic yellow light, and then it is taking the time to 10 to 15 minutes to give the full light output. Okay, so please note this point. The yellowish output will be given by the sodium vapor lamp. In order to start the lamp, 380 to 450 volts are the striking voltage required for the 40 to 100 watt lamps. These voltages can be obtained from a high reactance transformer. So by using the high reactance transformer, we can obtain this high voltage, or we can use the auto transformer. The operating power factor of the lamp is very poor. Okay, already we saw that the discharge lamp having the poor power factor. So we need to place a capacitor to improve the power factor above 0.8. And then more care should be taken while replacing the inner tube, because inner tube is important. If suppose it's broken, sodium will be contacting moisture, so there will be there is a chance of fire will be result. So it should be done very carefully. So the lamp must be operated horizontally to spread out the sodium well along the tube. So it should be operated horizontally. The efficiency of the sodium vapor lamp lies between 40 and 50 lumens per watt. Okay, in this we give any point, the yellowish output and 10 to 15 minutes, and then 380 to 50 watts for 40 to 100 watt lamps. Efficiency is 40 and 50 lumens per watt, and this is manufactured in the different ratings, 45, 60, 85, 140 watt ratings we the lamps manufactured. The normal operating temperatures of the lamps are 300 degrees centigrade, and then the life of the sodium vapor lamp is 3000 hours. It will not be affected by any voltage variations. These are the reasons to failure of the operating this lamp. The cathode fails to emit the electrons. When the cathode fails to emit the electrons, then the lamp will be failure. And then if the filament breaks or burn out, that's all. And all the particles of the sodium are concentrated on one side in the inner tube. Actually, the sodium particle should be spread over. Okay, then only it will work. The life of the lamp increases due to aging. The average light output of the lamp is reduced by 50% due to aging. When its time goes on, this light output and then light output will be reduced. These lamps are mainly used for highway and street lighting, park, railway yards, and general outdoor lighting. So here aging, the lamp life is increasing. That is one noticeable thing. We can see this yellowish lights in street lighting or park, railway yards, and general outdoor lighting.